Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of First Look, Final Word, the podcast where we take you on a drive to see a new movie. My name's Pete.
And I'm Trevor. Thanks for coming along, you flight risk.
Okay.
Today we're seeing Fight or Flight. Pete, why don't you tell people what the movie's about?
Yeah, I'll do that as soon as I pull it up here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so here we go. A mercenary takes on the job of tracking down a target on a plane, but must protect her when they're surrounded by people trying to kill both of them. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's what it says.
It's pretty nondescript.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I don't think it's that complicated of a plot, right?
Yeah, it's like...
Why?
It's pretty close to Snakes on a Plane, but
Yeah,
just
like,
without
why
snakes.
does he have the job of tracking her down, but then protects her? I guess he's not supposed to kill her?
Maybe
I don't know. We'll find out.
Maybe it's the president's daughter. Like, it's a real, like, Resident Evil 4...
Like, do you really need someone to track someone down if they're just on a plane? Don't you technically know that they're there?
We'll catch them on the other side.
Okay, right?
Well, you never know.
Anyway, I'm sure all
Parachute off
will
of it?
be revealed when we watch this movie.
Yeah, so if you are new to the podcast, Pete and I, we like to drive to the movies and give you a little bit of background on the way there, and we also have these ongoing projects that we talk about.
Yes.
Then on the drive back, we give you our immediate, unfiltered reaction to the movies we just saw.
Yes.
So no egghead criticism here because we don't have time to do
Just
that.
raw emotional what we figured the movie when we come out.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like, I don't know about you, Trevor, but like, you change your opinion of a movie like as time goes on, right? Like,
Well,
typically, for me anyway, like my initial reaction to a movie normally changes, especially on multiple viewings and like just given a bit of time to sit with it. So I feel like the initial reviews that we do, I feel like I might have slightly different opinions. Like if you ask me a few days later or after a second viewing, but
well, definitely. Like as soon as you read other things on the internet,
Well,
then
yes,
your
that's true.
opinion starts changing.
start reading other reviews. Oh, I didn't understand that. That's actually really good. That's usually my reaction.
But that's where there's real value at in our podcast, I think, because
right.
we're giving it to people raw.
This is like when you go with your friends to see a movie and then like you just chatting shit about it afterwards. That's what you get from this podcast. So
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're looking for like deep analysis of the themes of well, I keep forgetting the name of this movie.
Fight or Flight.
Fight or Flight. I keep wanting to call it Flight Risk. That's why I laughed when you said Flight Risk, because I keep thinking that's the name of it. But wasn't there a movie called Flight Risk that came out recently?
I think there's a movie called Flight Risk.
Was that the one with Taron Egerton that was on Netflix? What was that one called?
Or was that like Checkpoint or something? Maybe that was Flight Risk. I don't know.
I can't remember. Anyway,
it's
got to be a movie
It's a pretty
called
generic
Flight Risk.
action term, but
yeah.
I'll still definitely try to do deep analysis.
Yeah, it'd be deep analysis in a shallow pool.
Yeah, exactly. I do not have an English degree, so it's not going to be that good.
Neither of us went to film school, or you studied film, though, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No, that's right. Yes, you
just a common misconception because that's all I do with my time.
Because you're so smart about movies. It's just all self-taught.
So are you excited for this one?
I don't know. I literally have no idea of anything that's happening with this movie. I do know that apparently nobody wants to go see it because I think we're the only 2 tickets that have sold at this showing.
And it's the only theater playing.
And it's the only theater playing, and there's only 3 showings on one screen, and it's the smallest screen they have. So,
well, but this
doesn't bode well.
Yeah, I think it premiered at a small film festival earlier in the year, and then it's just kind of garnered good buzz from there, just like solid B movie stuff, and it's hopping right on the Josh Hartnett renaissance that's going on right now, which I'm all about.
Yeah, I'm all for that too, to be honest with you, because what was the other one? What was the M. Night one?
Trap, and then
Trap. I actually quite liked that. I thought. I mean, it wasn't like. It wasn't the most amazing movie, but he was really good.
I don't think it was very good, but
I enjoyed it though. But mostly based off his performances. I think is what I'm trying to say.
I don't like the new Shyamalan movies that much.
I mean, there was so many plot contrivances in that one. It didn't make a lot of sense. But I think what I meant was I really liked him in it. I really liked seeing Josh Hartnett back again.
Well, seeing the different flavors of him, and he had a really good supporting role in Oppenheimer.
Yes, that's true, actually. I'd forgotten he was in that.
I don't think I had ever seen him before as like, a middle-aged, serious, right? Dramatic actor, like that sort. Like he was really good. So I'm into, this next chapter of his career, like kind of like a second coming of Ethan Hawke.
Right, yeah.
So I'm all about it.
But like this is he's fully in like action movie mode on this one, right?
Yeah, I think his agent is throwing a lot at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Well, I mean, it's not the worst idea. I mean, with movies like obviously like Liam Neeson's kicked it all off. Not that Josh
He's not
Hartnett is
anywhere near that
he's not
mold.
geriatric, but what was the one with Nobody? Like that was a good one too.
Yeah, with Odenkirk, Bob
Yeah, it was
Odenkirk.
with
Yeah,
Bob Odenkirk. That's the one I was trying to say. Because so I think like I think there's I'm here for the unconventional action lead and just like throw everything at it. So I'm hoping this one's kind of
he's looking good on
in
that
that
poster
oeuvre.
though.
Yeah, but he's got the bleach blonde hair and stuff.
Yeah, and this one also has Katee Sackhoff.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love a bit of Starbuck.
Oh yeah, well for sure. Like, and
Right?
I think that's probably what she's still best known for, but
Definitely.
also has some Star Wars credentials now.
Right. True.
She was in one of those Riddick movies, which I'm a big
Was
fan
she?
of that franchise. Yeah, she was in the third one,
The third one.
which is basically just a remake of the first one.
Yeah, that one wasn't a bad. The Chronicles of Riddick was.
It's just
It,
so,
wa- it, I
it's
mean,
just so batshit crazy.
I applaud it for what it was trying to do with its world building and stuff, but I think it was like, this is not why people like that first movie, guys. Like, you're trying too much here.
Yeah, they're just going
rein
they're just
it,
going
rein it,
nuts.
rein it in a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, but anyway, she's really good in that third one, and when is she never not good?
Yeah, and especially like the stuff that's definitely in her wheelhouse, and I feel like. So is she the one who we're supposed to be keeping safe?
It's got to be.
I feel like she doesn't really need his help.
It's got to be her, or yeah, like she's gonna have stolen the diamonds or something,
Right.
or something like that. Yeah, like she always plays people who are super capable and athletic, can fight. So
Right,
that's
exactly.
I would be very surprised if she's not like an equal lead to the movie in that way.
Do you know anything? Like, I literally don't know anything about this movie. Do you know anything about like who's made this or who's involved?
So James Madigan, I think I saw his name was. It's his directorial debut.
Oh, okay.
He's done a lot of like effects work on some
cool.
movies before. Like I think the last Transformers movie.
It's going to be effects heavy then, is it? I wonder if the plane transformed into anything at any point. That would be pretty cool. Like it's Starscream, holy shit.
Yeah, and I think like he had a lot of action movies listed on there too. So I think,
okay, cool.
I don't know, just guess he just got a shot, or I don't really know about, like if this is a passion project of his or something, or he's a for hire.
I'm really interested to see what kind of vibe they're going for with this, because I feel like that's always important. Like if it goes for like I want it like a Bullet Train vibe.
Yeah.
Like I love that more than like a let's do it po face and serious action movies. Like I don't need to see Josh Hartnett do that. Just like make it fun. Especially with Katee Sackhoff, like gotta make it fun.
The Bullet Train was the best.
So it was so good.
The good thing about a train is you can go to different cars or whatever.
Yeah,
you don't really have that
that's true.
segmentation in an airplane.
No, that is a good point. Like how do you keep the airplane? I'm guessing there's going to be a subplot of stuff going on the ground, right? I feel like there has to be.
Well, there's a lot of airplane
there is.
movies
Air
or
Force
like
One.
action. Yeah, well, Air Force One, you kind of just said the best action airplane movie right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
Passenger 57.
Wonder if Josh Hartnett's going to point his finger at anybody angrily.
That's your favorite thing about Harrison Ford? You mention that all the time.
He does it so well.
Listen, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. This is my plane.
That was pretty good. Like, here,
get off my plane. That wasn't as good.
I'm still giving you a pass.
Yeah.
So anything else for this movie before we?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably move on, right? Like, I don't know how excited people are, but I hope you're excited because we're going to talk about it.
We are excited to give you our first reactions, but before we get to the theater, Pete and I want to talk about one of our ongoing projects to cover every Superman movie in live action. This is episode number 2.
Yeah, I'm psyched about this one.
Last week, we talked about the early Superman works of Kirk Allen for the serials and George Reeves for that initial Superman movie and his TV show.
Yes.
And now we're getting into the Christopher Reeves era.
Yeah, and this is, Trevor and I are similarly age, so like this was the Superman that I grew up with, and I think Trevor's the same.
Well, and there was a dearth of Superman material growing up, right? Like there's a big live action gap.
Well, when did the George Reeves show end? Was that like? It went for 6 seasons.
I think
or so.
So. That would be about like 1956.
Yeah,
or so. So it's almost 20 years without a live action Superman.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy when you think about it, because, like, I get that it's difficult like they struggle with those old shows and the serials to show a man flying and make it look like it not stupid. So I guess maybe
Yeah,
that was a bit of the pullback. But I mean, I feel like they did a really good job in this movie. I thought with that for what they had at the time. Like watching those serials and then watching this movie, I'm like, yeah, okay, they nailed it with this one.
well, and I think up until the mid 70s, there was concern that the amount of budget you'd have to put into a movie like this
True.
to get it to look good would not bring in the kind of returns that would make it worth your
Yeah, I
while.
mean, I guess we have the benefit these days of living in the time where superhero movies is like a legit genre now, and you can
Yeah.
no one's worried. Well, some people are worried, but no one's worried that like it's going to be wholesalely rejected. Whereas when like back in this day, like there was no guarantee that people had an appetite to see a comic book movie on the big screen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and like the model to, spend a lot of money and then open like wide to as many theaters at the same time, like is only a few years old by the time this movie came
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So all that being said, like up until the mid 70s, it was seen as a big financial risk to
Yeah,
go with a
huge risk.
superhero movie.
And especially with this one, because didn't they shot 1 and 2 at the same time, right?
Yeah, to save money.
Yeah. Which is
and we'll probably get really into the details of that next week.
Yeah, we get into Superman 2.
Because Richard Donner, who's the director of Superman, he was fired before he was able to finish that second movie. And
Such a weird situation, right? Like I
Yeah.
already shot most of it, like it's already done.
But then they did reshoot I'm stealing from our
Yeah.
episode next
We'll
week.
save that. We'll save that.
But yeah, so he was picked as the director mostly based off of his work from the Omen. Had you seen The Omen before?
Oh yeah, I love The Omen.
And then
It's crazy though. It's like we need someone to do this superhero movie like on Superman. It's like, hey, I got the guy that did The Omen. That's pretty much the same vibe we're going for, right?
Well, it's kind of funny because they sort of do the same thing again with Sam Raimi in the 90s. Like, well, like does it make sense to just hire the most like recognizable and famous directors, or should we pick someone who like has a lot of promise and has like a very specific style or whatever?
Very true. They don't tend to do that anymore, sadly. But
yeah, so I was reading that they were trying to get Spielberg. Well, like Spielberg's so obvious, like probably everyone was trying to get, but like Peckinpah too, which would have been bad, I think, or I don't know. Like it would have been interesting.
I don't know. I would have loved to see Spielberg's Superman movie though.
Well, I'm sure it would have been great.
Right?
Like, definitely some innovative camera work.
Yeah, probably.
But
for some kids in there.
How long had it been since you had seen this movie?
I was trying to figure that out today. Probably quite a long time. And I had this thing where when I was younger, I watched these movies so many times, like even like the third and fourth ones. And I had this thing where I sometimes misremember which bits are from which movies, just because I watched them all so much. And I think this one was the one I watched the least amount of times. I don't think we had this one on VHS.
Oh,
like
interesting.
recorded off the TV. So that's why I love 2 and even actually 3. We'll get into that later, but like in later weeks. But I have a real soft spot for 2 and 3 in my heart, and this one I don't remember as much, which is crazy because it's probably the best.
I think I like two the best.
Yeah, I do love 2.
It's been a long time, like probably 15 years since I've visited these.
Exactly, yeah, longer for me.
So like I was in school back when I had watched these last, and then so I watched the first one, the second one, a lot in that era because I had them both on DVD.
Oh, okay.
And then the third and the fourth one, I don't think I can say I've seen them all like front to
Oh, really?
front to back.
I think
just a lot of cable.
I think Superman
watches.
3 is the one I've seen the most.
And that's Richard Pryor, right?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
Richard Pryor one, and honestly, and it's the evil Superman one. So, and I think it was just like as a kid, I was like, it's evil Superman, and like Richard Pryor was funny.
That's not the supercomputer one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it is,
okay,
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like the really creepy bit at the end where they turn the lady.
Whoa,
into the robot.
let's not
But,
spoil
we're
it.
not going to get into that right now. But like, there's a real soft spot in my heart, and that, I mean, I'm really interested to watch them all again now, just to see like, I was so wrong. Like that is a bad movie.
Well, it's always interesting when your like nostalgia clashes with reality.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I actively avoid watching stuff because I'm like, I love this as a kid, and in my brain it is amazing, and I love it. And if I watch it now, I know I'm gonna come out and
Yeah,
be like, no, that's actually terrible.
you're gonna kill that
Yeah, I'll
memory.
never get that back, and I'll always remember that actually Richard Pryor was horrible in that movie, and it was rubbish.
So it has been a while, but did watching those early Golden Age Superman uh, content, did that change how you viewed Christopher Reeves
You know
in
what?
these movies?
It was really interesting because having watched all those old serials, like you said, and then going into this, it really did change like how my mind was, how I was watching it, and because I think we talked about it last week, and you can listen to that episode if you want to hear our more in depth thoughts. But like, I really appreciated a lot of stuff they did in those. Like, and I even said that I really like what Kirk Allen did with his Clark Kent.
Yeah, I still think that he's the best Clark Kent so far. Like,
But like honestly, going in and watching this, I'm like Christopher Reeves is it's just Superman and Clark Kent. Like to me,
well, he is
he did it best and better than anyone, and nobody's come close since. I would say
he is just like such an incredible actor.
it's so good.
Like like we did not appreciate him when we had him.
No.
Like is it his because his Clark Kent is going through like at least 3 different layers
Exactly.
of performance.
It's crazy, and I think that honestly, I think as well as like he really ruined Superman for a long time. Nobody's like they've been really trying. Like they even like Brendan Ralph just full on did. And we'll get into this later on. we did full on impression, and he did a pretty good job. But like nobody can do it as well as him, and it means that we've not really had a really good Superman movie since he. Well, I mean, I don't want to say that because the later Superman ones he did weren't greatest, but a Superman character, I should say. Like I don't think anyone like nothing against Cavill or Brendan Routh or anybody, but they're just not as good. Like he just nailed it. So
and we can get into it a little bit in future weeks
we
too.
will. We'll talk.
But I completely agree. Like the first time that Superman is on the top of that building, or no, I guess he's catching Lois Lane as she's falling. Like I can't put my words around what Reeves is doing here.
Exactly.
But it's incredible.
Exactly it, right?
Like it's this self-confidence. It's this like alienated poor creature.
He's so good. Like honestly, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is the one where he's gonna tell Lois that he's Superman, and he takes his glasses off in her apartment while she's in the bathroom, and he just like it's so subtle, but like he changes from his Clark Kent acting to his Superman acting, and he just changes his posture and and it's like nothing. It's like he does nothing, but you're like, man, he's a totally different person now.
You can honestly, you can forgive everybody in this universe for not connecting the dots because it's such a complete transformation.
Yeah, and I think that's why, like you say, like I don't think we appreciate it as much because he's not doing much. He doesn't do a lot. He's just like it's a subtle shift in posture and the way he just positions it and his facial expression, and it's like. But and the way he does it in that scene where he goes to his Superman posture and then just goes back to Clark Kent because when he decides that he doesn't want to do that. I just like, man, that's just like a masterstroke, and it's just like so subtle and nothing. Like when I was a kid, I didn't notice that stuff at all. I was just like, oh, he just took his glasses off, and that's all he needed to do to show he was Superman. It's like, no, it's not that at all. It's like, it's so much more.
I really appreciate like the chemistry between Christopher Reeves and Margot Kidder.
Oh, it's so good.
It's really good. Like I don't think that I could think of like a good like what's the second best chemistry between those two characters? Like because these characters are just so horny for each other right away. And you believe it.
And but even the Lois Lane Clark Kent relationship is so good.
Like, and like this is where it's done the best.
Yeah.
For both Lois and Clark, and for Lois and Superman. I think because you can kind of see like why she's sort of entertaining the idea of dating Clark Kent.
Yeah, because he's such a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but he's just like has zero sexuality whatsoever.
The one thing not to derail us too much, but the one thing I always find a bit confusing is like. Lois Lane is younger than Clark Kent, right? By a few years. I think that's supposed to be the way it is. And that's going to lead me to another thing I'll talk about.
Is she? Is that supposed to be, is that canonical?
Yeah, she's supposed to be, well, in this movie even at least. And so, like, when he rocks up to the Daily Planet, she's already like a pretty well established. Is she like already Pulitzer Prize winning Lois Lane at that point? I forget.
Is that like something from the comics that she's won a Pulitzer?
I don't know if it's in, maybe it's in the second movie where it's specifically said, but
Well, she probably won a Pulitzer for
for
covering
Superman
Superman.
stuff, yeah, potentially, right? But I was a bit like, why is she so well established in the city here? Well, I guess he's just because he's a country bumpkin and she's been doing it since she was a teenager, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we do see even in this movie and the previous stuff we covered last week that Lois Lane, like, all she cares about is her work.
Yeah,
And
she even says that, right? She's
She'll
like,
do
who wants a wife? Who wants a husband and kids? Like, I'd be bored within a week or whatever, she says.
she'll do absolutely anything for a story to the extent that it's incredible she's still alive.
Yes.
But by the time that Clark Kent rolls into
I
Metropolis,
know, it's like, it's good job Superman's here now, but how have you managed to survive up until this point?
like
He was just getting mugged in the street. You should be dead already.
she does this thing where she drops her purse and then it's like,
kicks the
oops,
guy
sorry, and then kicks him, and then he like just fires a shot accidentally.
Like, who?
It doesn't phase her. I have to think she's had so many close calls that she doesn't even realize how close she's come to death.
See, right? Like, why did she think that was a good plan? It's like like Clark even says afterwards, like, why would you risk it for like $10 and some lipstick or whatever? And she's like, how did you know what exactly was in my bag?
That was a great bit. And him catching the bullet was so great.
Oh, I love that. I love his little like reaction afterwards where he's like, oh, I got the bullet.
And he's like, I think I fainted.
It's watching it this time around though, it really made me think more about like, that is a lonely life to live, to pretend to be a bumbling idiot all the time. Like, that would be so hard.
I think he didn't want to pretend that he
No.
had fainted, but like he's like, oh, there's no other
Yeah,
explanation
it's like,
for
what am I
what
supposed to
happened
do?
here.
Oh, I guess I caught the bullet.
But yeah, that's what I think the secret to his Superman is. Like, he just plays that loneliness so well, and it's not on the surface. And well, that's a theme of the movie, in that like Marlon Brando as Jor-El says, like, he will never be lonely, and like Clark Kent / Superman completely disagrees with that assessment. He's like, I am lonely. I'm by myself here. Like, I have my crystal hologram dad, but that is not the same thing.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions around the crystal hologram dad. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, how does he know so much?
Well, because I guess because he's an AI at that point. Right?
How does he know so much about Earth, in particular, though? Like, did the Kryptonians do a lot of like how would they know so much about Earth? Like, have they been there before?
He does say, "I've died thousands of years before you've seen this," right? So any intel that they would have,
I guess it's been gathering intel while he's been growing up. Maybe I don't know.
I think the crystals have just been doing the hard work or whatever.
It's just a MacGuffin. The crystal figured it out.
They
don't worry about it.
They also say like the crystals were teaching the baby on the way to Earth, but then he has
teaching him what though?
He has no like inborn knowledge to him though. Like maybe he can read Kryptonian or whatever, but like that part doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we can get into the end of the movie as well, because like in a minute, because that's the other thing about this movie. But yeah,
well, I do really like that they just hired like a 20-year-old or whatever to play teenage Clark Kent.
Yeah,
and he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and then he emerges as Christopher Reeves as Superman. So like you don't have to see dorky
Christopher Reeve like pretending to be a kid.
Because he's freaking jacked, man. Like he's so big. Like even as Clark, like you can tell Clark Kent is in great shape, right? But like he's just like a total nervous wreck and a coward.
Yeah, there's a part of me that's like, and I think they did a great job of this in the second movie, where Lois Lane would be like, "Come on, man, you're obviously Superman. You're this Jack guy that showed up the exact time Superman did, and you look just like."
She does entertain the thought here when she's kind of talking to Jimmy about how they're never in the same spot at the same time.
But he just does a really. We're not going to get into Superman 2, but like Superman always does a great job of like proving that he's not Superman. So the one thing I did want to ask you, because I was going to say made the mistake, and I'm going to stick with that statement. I made the mistake of watching the 3-hour extended cut of this movie.
Okay.
Which I didn't even really know existed, but I guess I selected the wrong thing. And don't watch it, by the way, if you're wondering.
I watched the theatrical, 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's a reason why it was cut down from 3 hours, and it was a great example of what an assembly cut of a movie is. This is everything we shot assembled in the order. It's like, yeah, we don't need half an hour's worth of this stuff. Like there was so much Krypton stuff because I didn't realize, and I was like, why are we still like? Why is there so much extra? I don't remember all this Krypton stuff in this movie.
Well, it's another connection to the the Kirk Allen project, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
like both of them are very heavily rooted in that those first editions of Superman, where like they're going to these council debates about like
exactly.
whether to
There's a
believe
lot of that.
Jor-El or not.
And remind me because I can't remember if this was just because I watched the extended one or not. Because did the theatrical cut have the scene
Zod?
with Zod?
Yes, it does.
Because I was
So
like, Zod's not in this movie; he's in the second movie, and then I was like, oh well, maybe I just
because like
because they shot it together.
yeah they are like they're planting the seeds for Zod like very early, right? And then the second movie's supposed to, because this is basically just like one long project.
But like, and like we already touched on how like it was a risk to do a superhero movie, but like that's pretty ballsy to like set up the sequel as like the first scene of your movie is setting up the sequel. Like that's ballsy.
It's pretty cool. Well, like not really seen again until Peter Jackson did it for Lord of the Rings.
That was a bit more of a like nailed on. People are going to watch that. You're not just going to do one Lord of the Rings movie. So anyway, what I was going to ask you was, in the theatrical cut, does it have the scene where teenage Clark, when he runs, but when he like
Boys by the Train, yes.
blows
Yes,
by
it
the train,
does.
and young Lois Lane sees him from the train?
Yes.
Did you see who Lois Lane's mom and dad was?
Yeah. So it's Kirk Allen
It's
and
no, and what's her drops? Always forget her name.
Noel.
Noel.
Why did that guy think that he was just gonna go?
I don't know. He almost got like totally T-boned there.
Seriously.
And like that was what I was gonna say because that warmed my heart so much just to see them in it, and I was like, oh, it's like it's OG Superman and Lois, and they were like, she just like, it was like it's the same person. Like obviously it's the same person, but it just made my heart glad to see those two characters in this movie because I obviously had no idea they were in it when I was watching it when I was a kid. And even if I did, I didn't know who those people were.
And no George Reeves in this movie, right?
Yeah,
but like I don't know, maybe he was dead by the time this came out.
Potentially.
But yeah, like the Superman suit looks a lot like the George Reeves one.
Yeah, very true.
And like his Superman has this confidence that they share. But like I said, I think Christopher Reeves is better.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like he paved the way so that Christopher Reeve could could nail it.
He jumped over tall buildings so Christopher Reeves could fly.
Nicely put, Trevor. I love that. Let's write that down.
Yeah, we got
That's going in the episode description. No, you know what I did find interesting though? It's like they really hold back Superman in this movie. Like they have all the stuff on Smallville, like you said, with the younger actor, and then they do show him in the Fortress of Solitude in the outfit, but then they don't show him. Superman doesn't show up until the helicopter accident, and that's like an hour and a half into the movie.
Yeah, it's in the assembly cut, anyways.
Well, it wasn't in like literally like halfway through the movie.
It is like it's very restrained, and they do a really good job of showing like what kind of media sensation it would actually be for Superman to show up in real life to a world that's not used to this.
Exactly,
and like there's like so much video footage and so many eyewitnesses of Superman, and most people still don't believe it because like it's insane.
And I love the fact that he's like he goes back to Jor-El's hologram. And he's like, oh, like yeah, I revealed myself to the world, and everyone knows that I saw it, and like I'm sorry I did that. In my mind, I was thinking like, if you were trying not to reveal yourself, why are you wearing your full costume under your clothes all the time? Like,
and why are you giving an interview where you're like, yeah, I can't really see through lead, and I'm allergic to kryptonite? It's like Lex Luthor. The only research he had to do was read a newspaper article by Lois Lane.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a few suspect decisions that he makes in the movie for sure.
So I hardly remembered Otis as a character.
Oh, I love
this movie.
Otis.
He was really good though.
I just loved the theme song.
And this is my first movie seeing Gene Hackman since his death.
Oh, good shout. That's me too.
It did hit a little bit differently, and I absolutely love his Lex Luthor.
He's so good in this.
He's like he's actually like a very modern Lex Luthor. Like he's just like a bombastic businessman.
I love the people he surrounds himself with. It's like an idiot and like some eye candy. It's just so crazy. Like the outfits that they make Miss Deathstalker. I mean, it was the 70s, I guess, but oh my word.
That bit with like the soldier giving
Oh,
milk, like
it's
that went too far, man.
that was
That was
parody at
super
that point.
creepy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. He's like, everyone turn around while I give her chest compressions. Like, oh,
Jesus,
come on, man.
Jesus, man. People in the 70s just couldn't help themselves with that
Just like
stuff.
horny perverts, man.
Yeah. And we have to talk about the iconic climax of this movie where
Yes, we definitely do.
he feels so much tragedy at
Yes.
her death. And like the maxim he's supposed to live by is don't interfere in Earth's history. And he screams no.
Yeah.
And like Star Wars take note.
Screw all of that.
Star Wars take note. This is how you do a no.
There you go. Nicely done.
And so there's some debate about this. Does he
Yes,
he throw himself back in time at the speed of light, or does he rotate the Earth's axis and hurls Earth back in time?
Okay, so here's my take on it. My take is that the way it was shot and the way it was done was that he reverses the Earth's rotation and that somehow pulls time back.
I completely agree.
And that doesn't make any sense. So it got fanboyed explained away that he actually just went so fast that he went back in time.
Yeah, because so like I could understand the like, you know, he's going faster than light, so he goes back in time argument. But it shows him rewriting the axis.
Right,
so
it definitely is changing the way it rotates because he fixes it at the end.
I can't understand the argument that that's what's happening.
Yeah, but it also makes zero sense that would do anything.
But also, I love it. I absolutely love it because this movie is just like a modern Greek myth, and that's the sort of shit that would happen. Like it doesn't have to make sense because it's a fantasy movie, and I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel.
I mean, it trips me up more than you are. It sounds like, because I would have loved them just to have explained it away in a different way, because it's just like, and the other thing. And like my wife always trips up on this point, and she's not a Superman fan at all, but she's always like, it doesn't make sense. You just turn back time whenever you want. It's like, whenever a tragedy happens, why doesn't he just turn the Earth back on its axis and fix it?
Well, okay, I will answer that with another question that doesn't answer your question at all. Is there anything more romantic in cinematic history than being so torn up about the death of your loved one that you turn the Earth's axis around in orbit?
Yeah, I guess I just wanted like a line to be like, oh, like that was a 1 in a million chance that would actually work, and you actually risk the entire planet's destruction by doing that. So like don't do that again.
That's like the whole door maneuver is like
exactly.
Well, but
I needed Jor-El to be like, don't do that again, Kal-El, because you almost blew up the whole planet.
Well, but I'll agree that, you know, like the whole door maneuver, you can just do it the one time. You can get away with doing that once.
I just needed, and I think I've said this before in the past, I like things explicitly explained to me in my movie.
And I completely disagree. So
I know.
That's why we make such great podcast co-hosts.
I'm more literal than you. Like, just to throw in a line there, how you can't do that again, and then we'll move on.
I know that climax has not like modernly aged well, but I honestly think it's still amongst the best like superhero like endings of all time.
And to your point, it's not about how realistic or it is, or like what the mechanics of it are. It's like it's the point of it that matters. It's like he did something crazy because he was so distraught because he loved Lois so much.
Well, and he is lonely, and like she's the only person he's felt that kind of connection with. Yep. And he is going to break all the laws of the universe to get back together. It's romantic as hell. Superman 2 is romantic as hell too. I'm looking forward to watching that one too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into that one too as well.
These movies, like, they're just so energizing. Yeah. I love them. And
that's exactly the reaction I had watching this. I was like, this is just great movie. Like, why can't we just do great movies like this?
We don't do shit like this anymore.
And honestly, you know what it did? Just funnily enough, it made me really nervous about the James Gunn movie. It's because I'm so hyped for that, but I'm like, it's not going to be as good as this. There's no way it can be. And that makes me sad, but I hope he proves me wrong.
He'll prove you wrong. I don't think it'll be as good as this, because
that's what I mean. It's like,
this carries such a punch of like just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, and it was the first.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
First time, and like
they just nailed it right away.
Nailed it right away. So
well, we're late for this movie, so we have to get going. But like, we are gonna keep talking about Superman over the next few weeks and months, and well into July. So definitely keep listening. And if you're new to the podcast, Pete and I are going to go inside and watch Fight or Flight and come back, give you immediate reaction to the movie we just saw, and give you plenty of warning before we start going into spoiler talk.
Yeah, we will go into a deep dive talking about spoilers after that. So
I might want to also talk a bit more about Superman too.
Yeah,
I feel like we're not
I know,
quite
right?
done.
I know, right? I've got a lot to say. Depends how we feel about this movie. It might be a short review, and we'll get back into Superman. But we'll see. Maybe we'll love this and talk about it for half an hour.
All right, well, wish us luck, everybody.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. Welcome back, everyone. We're already on the road, on our way back from fight or flight.
There you go.
I got it.
I'm dying to tell you what I think of this movie.
Okay, go for it, Trevor.
I think it's pretty good.
I agree. I had fun. I had fun with this one. It did exactly what I was hoping it would do, and it was just fun, dumb action movie with tongue in cheek, but also super violent and pretty good choreographed action scenes actually for the tight space of inside an airplane, which they pretty much they stayed in for most of the movie. I know that we'd said going in that how do you do that in a plane?
They found some good ways around that. Yeah.
Step one, big plane. Big plane with many compartments.
We're going to be talking about Bullet Train a lot during this review because
no doubt
someone definitely just watched Bullet Train and then started working on a similar script for this.
Yeah, this could also would not have been surprising if this was a sequel to Bullet Train. It's basically playing the same character, right? Like Josh Hartnett is definitely channeling his Brad Pitt in this for sure from that movie and others. He does a great job though.
I think he was great.
He's just super enjoying what he's doing right now. And he was hench, man. I didn't realize he was in such good shape. Like the first shot of him in the movie, I was like, holy crap, he's like, and I love when they do that trope in these movies. It's like, oh, this guy has been on the run for years, and he's just drinking heavily and sleeping rough, and it's like he looks like he's been in the gym for 2 years. Like, what are you talking about? He's cut, man. He's in better shape than I could ever imagine being in.
He keeps getting in life-threatening fights every day, which is really good cardio.
It's really good cardio. Yeah, I mean, he has got a lot of bruises when you meet him right away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, I'm just here for these kind of movies where it's like, this guy is such a badass, like nothing that we can do is going to make it so that he's not just going to kill everyone. But he's not playing it like that. He's definitely playing like the Brad Pitt in Bullet Train. Yeah, he's just like, he's stumbling his way through a lot of the stuff.
Instead of like the bucket hat, he's got like a pink shirt and pajamas.
Yeah, and I love the like contrivances that they put in to make him be like not at his not 100%. Like from right away, it's like, oh, now he's drugged. Oh, now he's done this, and oh no, now he's stabbed. It's like he's always running at 60%, but he still manages to get through it.
A lot of it in different ways.
He was. We were wrong about Katee Sackhoff though.
Yeah, we were totally we were both just assuming
she suit on the upper end of the phone.
Yeah, like she's never really played a suit like that before, but she's really good. She's really good.
Yeah, she's got really good bitch face going on in this.
Yeah, so like this could definitely open up a new pathway for her because she was a great like control type character.
Remind me, or maybe if you can remember, I can't remember, but when I read the synopsis way back. Did it say that it was a girl that he was protecting on the plane?
It said it was a girl. So
right, that's like a huge spoiler. Yeah, it's not a huge spoiler, but they play it off in the movie like it's a big reveal. When it's like,
sorry, folks, but I think for sure, like even going in blind, the fact that they keep going, oh, it's obviously some dude. It's some neckbeard hacker guy.
Yeah, they do kind of.
It is a boy.
Lay it on a bit thick, though.
You were looking for a boy.
Yeah, this guy, this man that we know nothing about, apart from that their name is Ghost. Yeah, it's obviously a middle-aged dude.
So you know it's a girl going in basically, but we won't spoil it.
I knew it was a girl going in because I read it.
It's like that riddle where the doctor's asked to operate.
I don't know that riddle.
The doctor's asked to okay, yeah. So this
yeah, you got to say the riddle, Trevor. Come on now.
So the son and his father get into a car accident. The father dies. The son's rushed to the hospital. The doctor's about to perform on him, and the doctor says, "I can't perform on this man. He's my son." And like the riddle is just like the doctor is his mother, and like, but you would. It's only a riddle if you are sexist and can't comprehend a world where a woman is a doctor.
Right.
It's like so everyone in this movie can't comprehend that a woman is a hacker.
Well, yeah, maybe we like. I don't know how much we got to say this because, like, I feel like everything I want to say now is just going to be spoilers. But I don't know if you can really spoil this movie other than saying it's a girl that he has to protect on the plane.
Let's just say it is like it is a bit of a ripoff of Bullet Train, but that's
Yeah,
not necessarily a
it's
negative.
Bullet Plane.
Bullet Plane, nice.
They could have definitely just made this a sequel to Bullet Train and had brought Brad Pitt back, and it would have felt of a piece. It
Yeah.
Definitely nowhere near as good as Bullet Train, though.
No,
Don't get it
it's
twisted.
not in that same class, but
Yeah.
I would say like the fact that the antagonists on the plane aren't really anywhere near like the
No,
caliber of
they're
actors
just
or
an
like
endless faceless stream of
yeah,
goons.
like even the people that they try to give like extra attention to
Yeah.
don't really make an impact in any way.
Yeah, the height of giving any of the bad guys any sort of backstory is this one has an accent.
Yeah,
This one's wearing a suit.
this one did a little dance.
Yeah, he
which
was the first one that we meet. Yeah, he was the one with had the most going on.
he was okay, and I would say I think that James I forgot his last name already.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The director of the movie.
Oh, I have no idea what his name is.
Uh,
I'm
I
terrible.
I think
James.
I think he was quite good at the action scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think the dialogue scenes just are not
Yeah.
particularly directed that well. Like they're not directed poorly, but it's not like above replacement of any grab any director on there. Like
No,
I think you can tell this guy's not really used to working with actors.
yeah. Some of it felt very even just like even the script. It was very like 90s actioner, like
Yeah.
maudlin, like, oh, you saved me, I saved you.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
but
like not to spoil it or anything, but
then again, like it's not.
that's what I
You
mean.
kind of
That's
know where the
kinda-
movie's
that's-
going
yeah,
from the onset. Like,
because like when that stuff was happening in my mind, I was like, "Oh, this is objectively terrible," but at the same time, it's of a piece with this movie, and it fits quite well. And I don't hate it because Josh Hartnett is just smiling at me, and I like watching that. So
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I like that his beard kind of sucks. Like,
And his hair sucks too.
yeah, his
Let's be
hair
fair.
kind of sucks too. But gosh darn it, the guy's handsome
Oh,
anyways.
he's handsome. I like how there's at a certain point in the movie, there's pictures of Josh Hartnett around, and the pictures are not of him as he looks in this movie.
Well, yeah, they're of Josh Hartnett before he
It's like-
stopped. He dropped off from being an A-lister,
It's
basically,
like
right?
heartthrob Josh Hartnett with
Yeah.
his nice coiffed hair and like
Now-
10 years younger.
I will say there is a trick that the movie pulls off that I was quite impressed by that I want to talk to you about once we get into spoilers.
Okay, cool.
So is there anything else you want to say before we drop off into that?
No, I don't think so. I would recommend if you're into this kind of thing, I would recommend seeing it. I mean, I think we've had a real good spate of like little action movies over the past couple of months. So
Yeah.
this one, I think lives alongside. I mean, not that I've seen The Accountant 2 or any of what was the other one, that Jerry Butler one that came out?
I don't know.
I don't know, but anyway,
Plane?
Bullet Plane. But no, it's good. I think it's really worth your time.
It's worth your time. I think that's probably not going to make much money.
No, not at all. It's almost a definition of catch it on streaming, which is a bit of a harsh criticism, but
Well,
it doesn't scream come out and see this on the big screen. Although it does look good, the action
like
scenes.
there were only 6 people in the theater, including the 2 of us, and we were all like laughing, having a good
I
time.
think everyone enjoyed
So
it, right?
the fact that it was a small audience in the theater did not detract from the experience at
No,
all.
not at all.
So I would say if you got a chance, go to the theater and see it. And if you have a chance, subscribe to this podcast and tell a friend about it.
You go for
Did
go for the Segway Award.
Did you like that?
I did.
Did you like that, man?
Like what are we in now? Like
I've been-
almost 60 episodes or whatever. And like
I've been
Trevor's got his groove in.
I've been taking Segway classes.
They're paying off, man. Whatever you're paying is money well spent.
I also want to flag that we are running our recurring contest for a annual subscription to Letterboxd Patron.
Yeah.
So follow us on Letterboxd at First Look Final W. And
That's a good prize, guys. Like, not to toot our own horn here, but like you don't have to do much to do it, man.
That's a pretty good dollar value.
It's pretty good return on investment.
You were already listening to the podcast, so
Exactly. If you're this far, then like it's just a couple of clicks and you could get stuff. You could get stuff for
you
free.
get stuff. We should do like a tiered prize thing or something.
Tiered
Like
prize.
maybe
Maybe like capture our tears and send them out as prize.
okay, well that's second place. Third place
That's
is
top tier, if you will. Sorry, I'll stop.
third place is we will record a voicemail message on your
Oh god!
outgoing.
Oh, it should be like we'll do it, and like unless you win, we're gonna do it to everyone. It's like a threat.
Sure, okay. So those are the three prizes.
Uh,
Well, okay, so we're gonna drop into spoilers now. If spoilers bother you, drop off. But I think you could guess pretty much how this movie's gonna go from the onset.
yeah, it was exactly what I was expecting or hoping to expect. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I wasn't disappointed.
So the one thing that I found, so
Are we in spoilers.
we're in spoilers
Oh,
now.
yeah, you
People. We
remarked.
gave you some warning.
Well, not that you can really spoil this movie. Let's be honest.
So the entire time we think that Katee Sackhoff and co are working for the
Right,
CIA.
That was a pretty good
They're
reveal.
framing that whole like headquarters very carefully.
Yep.
And then she used to work with Josh Hartnett's character
Yeah,
with
she
the
used to be at
CIA.
the agency.
She's like they have like ops teams or whatever.
Yeah.
They delivered a passport. They got him a boarding pass. Like it just zooms out and it shows that they are on like Google campus or whatever. I forget what the name of their company was.
Yeah, it was just
but
some generic like app company, data company. But yeah, that was a really good. That was a really good twist. Actually, I was a bit taken aback at first, just the way that scene played out. Like like it was getting into a bit of like, oh, let's make fun of these woke idiots and like talking about participation trophies, and I was like, oh, what are they doing here now? They're gonna like make them out to be like just like right wing people or something. I don't know what's going on. And then it like zoomed out to reveal that it was just like a corporation versus an actual agency, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, are they trying to like pretend? I was like looking at the logo, trying to figure out who they were like secretly trying to make fun of in that scene.
It was sort of like their logo looks
like a generic tech bro logo on it.
It kind of looked like Salesforce meets Twitter or something like that.
A bit of Waze in it as well.
Yeah, exactly. So like
any of those apps.
But the underlying issue is like, lithium mining in Asia or with child labor.
Yeah, they laid it on thick in a couple of scenes with that. But I mean, it was the kind of movie where like you just lay it on thick like that. 'Cause it's like child slaves are building these video game systems. Just like, fair enough, okay.
Well, because the MacGuffin of this movie is kind of like a child slave exposing device.
Yeah, they really like, and I don't know if I just missed it, but they really like just glossed over what that thing actually is doing. She's like, oh, it's got unlimited computing power and it can do anything. I'm like, well, can you like explain that a little bit? Or you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just turn my brain off. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a magic box.
It's a magic box that can unlock anything.
It's a MacGuffin box. But that was another good turn. That was like how they weren't really after her at all. They just wanted the box.
Yeah, but she also had a body count on her, right? So they were trying to kill her and get the box?
Yeah, well, I forget his name. He was like the second in command to take
yeah, the Weasley guy. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else.
I honestly thought he was the weakest in the movie.
Well, he was just a one-note character, right?
Yeah, like
you don't think he was hitting that note?
I mean, he was hitting it a bit, but then like when he did his heel turn and like he's like, oh, I was all along, I could throw all along.
The least surprising heel turn of all time.
And I was a bit like, yeah, okay, like I don't know, I just wasn't buying it from him.
I thought there was going to be an additional heel turn because he mentioned that a source close to Ghost was wanting to sell it for $1 million, but then that didn't really go anywhere. Like,
no, none of it really went anywhere at the end there.
Yeah.
But it's just like evil people being evil. I thought there was going to be a turn where she was going to go back on Josh Hartnett's team. So
I thought so too. Like that's
kind of like laying that groundwork. It's like, oh, she was his girlfriend. And
honestly, I feel like that was where the movie was originally planning. But as the movie was developing, they thought, hey, this is going well and it's working. Let's just think sequel.
Exactly.
And so that's where they kind of left it.
You might be right about that, because it definitely does turn to like, we'll just set this up to keep going.
Yeah. I also thought it was very clever that the plane the entire time was heading a different direction than everyone thought it was.
Clever, yeah, that was pretty.
Because the entire time I was thinking like, they're just racking up so many bodies. Like this is the biggest incident in history.
Well, I think you mentioned it even before we went in, where it's like if the target that you're looking for is on a plane,
going to San
Wouldn't
Francisco.
the best plan just
Yeah.
be arrest them when they land?
Yeah, but no, like, but she hooked her magic box up to the
Yeah,
plane,
yeah.
and like the pilots weren't even
Yeah.
aware that they were going
Yeah, because
like the wrong direction.
there was a couple of little hints that they gave, right? The pilots, because there's one point where it's like, oh, the
The comms are
autopilot's
dead.
yeah, it comes out. Oh, well, the autopilot's flying it, it's fine. And then the one bit where they're talking about the weather, and it's like, oh, the weather's all great. It's like, well, why is there massive thunderstorms in front of us? It's like, because we're nowhere near where this is
Yeah.
saying we're supposed to be.
So yeah, even though it was like ripping off other movies, like there were still some clever bits in there that were
very
innovative.
True, very true. And that's like sometimes I'm like, that's all I'm looking for. Just do the stuff that I'm seeing before, and I know what's coming, but make it a little bit fresh. Like put it on a plane and have a few twists that I didn't see
He
coming.
likes to keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh, keep it breezy. There was a few performances that I thought were a little too broad, a little like less tongue in cheek, or just more like out and out comedic. Like definitely the pilots. Although I was loving it, some of their
They were talking about like whether Hanks is a great actor now. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. But then when like the Mormons or whoever run in and just like start attacking the pilots,
I had
was
no
like,
idea
what is
what's
going on here.
I had no idea what was happening there. I thought that
Yeah.
they were assassins, but like they weren't. They were just
No,
like
they just like were panicking
about dying.
And then when they came out and they were like, someone killed the pilots, and the one guy's face, he pulls this like the hammiest acting face I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, like take another take on that one, guys. Like
What I did appreciate about some of those character actors was there was a lot of like diverse cast in there.
that's very true.
But no one was playing stereotypes at all. Like they
Right.
had like a lot of Thai actors just like playing a broad range of like those kind of like, you know, background character actors you would see in an action movie, but
right.
like they were just like Thai, which I like, and it just is a little bit refreshing that like you know, they were pulling from a realistic like, because the plane is coming from Thailand, so it makes sense that a lot of those background characters and color characters are also going to be Thai characters. And
No, I definitely agree. Although the one thing I was a bit confused about is if it's a Thai airline flying from Bangkok to San Francisco, why are all the cabin crew British? Or a lot of them seemingly British? I was like, this is odd. It's like, is it because your main actress is British, or you just want them all to sound British?
maybe that's what it was.
So she doesn't sound so odd, and they don't want her to do an American accent. Like, I'm on board with that. Fine, let's do it.
So did you know it was her right away?
No, I thought they did a pretty good job of that.
I thought it was either going to be her or there was a woman sitting right in front of him when he first
really?
sat down. I thought maybe like she was just going to be hiding in plain sight for a long time.
I mean, I think I like not right away, but I think before the reveal, I was kind of like, well, I mean, there isn't any other woman that they've even mentioned at this point. That's why I mean, like, if I don't think I would have even had an inkling of that if I hadn't read it, that it was a woman. I would have just been like, oh, I'm still not sure who this ghost is going to be.
Well, you knew it was going to be a woman for how often they were saying like, oh yeah, all we know is that he might have been shot and he definitely has a dick.
And it's like, oh, we've got some video surveillance footage of him here, and the whole body is pixelated out because that's the thing, and because we don't want you to know.
Because she was a great hacker, they discovered that at age 7.
Yeah, yes. Her backstory, I'm so confused. She's like, so she was sold into child slavery, but then they figured out she was a great hacker. How the hell is someone sold into child slavery any good at hacking, for one? And then then I was like, but not only is she great at hacking, she's also really good at fighting, and she can shoot and handle a weapon and like kill someone from 20 feet away with a pin. I'm like, that is some. What were they training this girl to do?
I think like all that extra stuff, like she trained herself with over the last 10 years.
When she became the ghost.
Yeah, when she became anonymous.
There you go. Oh, yeah. But that's what I mean. It's one of those movies where you, like, don't trouble yourself by thinking of any of this stuff for more than 10 seconds, because you'll fly one of those planes right through the potholes, but that's not the point. And then they weren't trying to make it anything else. Like I said, it's like Josh Hartnett was having such a great time in this role.
Oh, when he's just tripping balls on like frog venom.
Oh, I gotta
try frog venom.
That was one of my favorite scenes, because they showed that woman with the weird irises.
Yeah,
and they were like really playing up that she was going to quit to it later. And then
she's like, I'm the final boss. Like, I respect you, and then he just kills her
head with the ice pick. Oh, it was so great.
But yeah, she's definitely been going her whole life thinking that she's the the great like James Bond style villain,
Right,
and then
right.
she dies immediately. It's so funny.
Yeah, stuff like that. I really appreciate. It needed more of that, right? It needed more of like build up the
Yeah,
bad guys. Like, I mean, they could have maybe just had it of like 5 or 6 assassins versus the
yeah, like
entire freaking plane.
it was too much. Like I think there were too many people, and like I think she did a really great job. The other like big villains that they tried to pump up, I think were just not at that,
No,
not at the level that
they didn't give him
they
any.
should
They didn't give
be.
him anything to do or any kind of
Yeah.
indication of who they are as characters.
Well, like when he gets drugged by that eccentric dancing man
Yes,
or
yeah.
whatever, like that scene was funny, but it should have been like 50% funnier. Like
Yeah,
it really should
that's
have,
fair.
it really should have hit a lot harder, and a lot of that has to do with how that scene was framed.
Yeah, true,
It
true.
was in kind of like a medium shot, when I don't think it was working well
Yeah, that's
at
very
all.
true.
Well, like it's not like it wasn't working well at all. Like it just was not as impactful as it should have been. Like it should have, like we should have thought that this is the most ridiculous man in the world, and like we do. But like he also just seemed a little bit too real. Like I feel like I've sat next to people who are that cringe before on planes.
But also as well, though, I feel like he should have been a bit more wary of that guy giving him drinks because he's obviously fucking. Even if you're not like this guy might be an assassin, I'd be like, this guy's a fucking wackadoodle. I am not going to take a drink from him.
You know what though? That's just like that's white male shit. Like
Yeah, it's like yeah, let's have a whiskey.
no one's gonna spike my drink.
Yeah, just a over of whiskey.
That did look good though.
Yeah, I agree though about the framing of that shot and whatnot. But overall, I thought they did a pretty good job of like something that was set inside a very confined
Yeah.
space. They really did a great job of like showing that, I thought.
Well, like the first half of the movie did a really good job of like containing things, but then it just leaned into the fact that this is on a plane and people are going to notice when dead bodies show up, and then there's just utter chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
But there still seem to be like rows of people sitting in their seats, like watching TV.
There was one where
Whatever.
was a guy just filming it, which I thought was pretty
Well,
pretty clever.
that probably would be happening a
Yeah,
lot
it's
more.
like everybody would be filming it, let's be real. It's feel like people start killing each other on a plane that you're on, you're definitely recording it. I really did like the opening scene. Obviously, we didn't really talk about that because it opens with like, was it slow mo or was it just like showing the like the crazy action shit
slow-mo
happening?
to I can't remember that musical piece or
Which
classical
I
piece.
felt
That's
like I felt like the stuff it showed in that opening was not actually how it panned out.
it was a little different.
Because it was just like a greatest hits of what's going to happen in the movie, but all put in one shot, and it's like it didn't happen like that though. But that's fine. I can forgive it that because it was a pretty fun opening shot.
Do you like it when movies do that? Give you a
It
little glimpse
depends.
there?
It depends.
Do you think it worked well here?
It's something that happens a lot in TV. I read an article actually recently about it's like something that they actually are like it's notes from like studios and stuff. It's like
You have to show the
Yeah,
audience that
like-
it's going to go
yeah,
somewhere
show where
crazy.
it's going and then go back and tell the story so that
Yeah.
you can hook the people in, right? But
Well-
but so like I like it when it's organic, but not if it's like forced.
Well, this one definitely seems like that was built in so that when people are watching at home,
Yeah.
they're going to be invested. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like someone's going to get sucked out of a plane. Like this is
Yeah.
going to go balls to the wall.
And it's also like if in case you didn't know what kind of movie this was,
Yeah.
this is what it is. Okay, so get to strap in because this is going to be like violent action movie stuff coming up. Like, don't get it twisted.
What's sort of like when you watch a trailer on YouTube, they show you a mini trailer before the actual
Oh, God,
trailer starts,
I
right?
hate that more than anything.
But it's because like they have to capture that attention right away.
right.
You know what? That's how we should be opening our podcast
With
that.
mini trailers.
No, like the craziest thing that happened in this episode.
So like I'll just cut it out and stick
Yeah,
it in the
exactly.
front loader.
Like me saying balls to the wall.
Yeah.
That going right at the front of the
I
episode.
don't know if that's going to have the effect that you think it's going to have, to be honest.
We'll get some audience there.
Okay, well, maybe we'll try it. Maybe we'll try it.
From there. That's gonna make some algorithm happy.
Seems like what happened, but this whole kind of random stuff that you're just yelling out in the first 5 seconds of this podcast.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm hooked in. It's like a mini trailer for a mini trailer.
Now, I'm not picking on this movie in general because this is just a trend that has been happening
Yeah.
for many years now and is not going to go away anytime soon. And it works better here than elsewhere. But I think like the natural storytelling of this movie did not really lend itself to that kind of 15 hours earlier.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard to say, like, because like I knew what it was going in, so it wasn't I didn't think it was feel it was necessary to show that, but at the same time, if I was going in blind,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit, okay, it's really gonna go off here.
It's like John Wick starts with that too. Like it shows him
Does
like
it?
broken down
Oh right, yeah,
beginning, right?
yeah,
So
true.
it doesn't just start with like a dead puppy. Oh, I guess it would start with a dead wife first.
Right, yeah. Got to get your dead loved ones in the right order.
Yeah.
All right, well, we made it home.
Yeah, so we rate things out of 6.5 on this podcast.
We do.
Pete, what would you rate this out of 6.5?
See, this is hard. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to go as high as 5.
Okay. I think 5's a little high.
Yeah, it is pretty high. But
Because
it's not 5.
you gave Thunderbolts a 5 last week, right?
That's true. Yeah.
I'd say probably about a 4, but there's nothing bad about a 4, I would say. 3.25 is a pass.
Yeah, I think like it's funny because we introduced this rating system and I feel like it just confuses me.
It definitely confuses me.
It's good though. It's it's recommendation, I think. But yeah, you make a good point. I did give Thunderbolts 5 because 6.5 is the best ever movie, right? So 5, that's way too high.
I think of it like if you gave something a 6.5, it's putting in that upper tier.
Yes.
Like and different movies are trying different things. Too,
yeah.
Right? So,
well, rating systems are always hard with movies because this is a 5 for what it wants to be, but what it wants to be is a 4. It was a sort of.
Okay, so I agree. So this wants to be a 4. It's doing a good job of that, but it's not doing as good of a job as a movie like Bullet Train.
Right.
So Bullet Train is a 6.
Right.
This is a okay.
Sure.
Now I'm getting confused.
Yeah, whatever. It's good.
As soon as you start rating movies against each other, the whole system kind of falls apart.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Anyways, recommend. It's a solid movie and fun movie to watch.
Definitely, yeah, worth a watch for sure. But no one's going to go, so
yeah,
we all know that's true.
I say tune in next week. Is next week Mission Impossible?
Is it already?
I think it might be.
Right. Wow, that's exciting.
Well, I'll have to double check. No. Here, let me double check. Why don't you vamp? Well, we will be talking Superman 2 next week. That is a guarantee.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to keep on our Superman trend, and I am really excited to talk about Superman 2. It's one of my favorite Superman movies. Spoiler for next week, which I think I've already said on this pod, actually, so not much of a spoiler, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, wait. You know what? Mission Impossible is not the next movie.
Yeah, I thought that creeped up on me.
It's one more week. No, it's one more week. It's coming up, yeah.
I'm
next week we're doing Final Destination.
All right.
And then we're doing The Final Reckoning.
Okay, a lot of finals coming up. Yeah, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the
Final Destination franchise.
I don't remember what it was called. The Final Destination franchise.
Well, I'm gonna. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna do that much catching up. Like I
like the way you call yourself. I have to rewatch all that. I'm not doing that.
I watched like the first 3, and I don't know how many have come after that. And like,
I think there's been that many, hasn't there? I don't know.
I think there's probably 5. I think this is going to be the 6th.
I also will not be rewatching any.
If you've seen one, you pretty much get it.
Well, anyway, tune in next week for more talk about Final Destination
and Superman 2.
And Superman 2, more to the point.
The final destination for Zod was the Phantom Zone.
well, there you go. Nicely done. Was that another segue? Sort of, not really. Anyway, that's probably good for this week, right? Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, well, come back next week, guys. And until then, that's the final word.